Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Aussie Starcraft. We've been casting games from Zotac Cup number 187. We are casting the finals of that, so it's a best of 5 series between our purple Zerg in the bottom left-hand corner of Derelict Watcher, Aces Scarlett, versus our golden Protoss. In the top right-hand corner is GungFuBanda. Now, I don't think Scarlett needs much of an introduction. GungFuBanda is a 15-year-old player from Germany, and actually doing quite well last year in these online tournaments in his first year in the scene. Has won quite a couple of them. But now he's coming toe-to-toe with Scarlett and discovering that she's one of the best Zerg players in the world for a reason. He's actually got a 2-1 lead in this series, up 2 games 2-1. But as you'd see, if you haven't seen the games, you ought to see them, because I'm about to spoil them. Those wins did come from a proxy, so we'll see how he measures up as he tries to go into macro games against Scarlett. The proxy's certainly not going to consistently win him games against Scarlett, so works well in a one-off game, doesn't work in best of 5 series consistently. And as he discovered in game number 2, when he tried to go toe-to-toe with Scarlett's macro, he did find himself falling behind. So we'll see what Scarlett elects to go for in game number 3. Game number 4. We can see her throwing down her spawning pool nice and early. Obviously a reflection on those earlier games. We know that Scarlett loves to hatch first, then pool. But obviously with the amount of proxies we've seen, Scarlett's certainly not going to risk losing this series of games to proxies. So GungFu going to be scouting out early. We'll see Scarlett sees this probe moving out. Is the probe going to try and block the hatch? Just a little bit late there. And Scarlett's just going to make her way around. You'll see her scouting all these close by locations for a proxy. First Overlord scouted here, so potentially an ideal spot to hide it would be somewhere here after the first Overlord scouts. But Scarlett's certainly gonna have workers in place for this Zerglings in place for this quite quickly. And see, GungFu actually got his pair of gas up quite quickly. Cybercore also on the way, and scouting quite aggressively with this probe. Is he going to try and hide something? Perhaps a proxy pylon. I would think it too late to proxy any gateways down here. But looks like we may have a longer game on our hands. As Scarlett makes her way across the map, scouting. She can see no expansion down already, so already Scarlett's probably feeling just a little bit comfortable. And we'll see what GungFu has in store. He is going to be grabbing that warp gate nice and quickly. First Zealot moving out now. Mothership core though still low on the field. We are actually hovering 180 gas, which is quite a bit of gas. Scarlett going to be scanning out with these Zerglings, and going to be in a position to threaten this expansion right away. There is only one Zealot on the field and potential for one more Zealot every 30 or 40 seconds, so Scarlett's certainly in a spot where she could put on a lot of pressure if she should so choose. But GungFu just fairly confident in his abilities to hold this with the Zergling. Now chrono boosting the mothership out, so between the mothership and the Zealot it should be fairly safe. Scarlett just trying to be as irritating as possible. Make sure she gets a bit of damage on this where possible. Gonna make her way into the base of the Zergling. Zergling will get taken out, but unfortunately won't see anything more than that gateway. Scarlett's got her queens in position, going to get a creep spread underway. Scarlett's certainly well known for her ability to spread creep. Some of her Zerg fundamentals are the best in the business. Not many players out there can spread creep as effectively as Scarlett while maintaining this as consistent a macro. We see the 3 gas guys is actually on the way there. I apologise if I'm just a little bit tongue-tied. Have cast quite a few games today that'll be uploaded to the channel over the coming days. Hope you guys enjoy them. By all means, share them with any friends that you have that like the StarCraft 2 action, even some of those that don't. You know, 2 kinds of people in this world: those that love StarCraft 2 and those who don't know it yet. My wife might disagree with that, but you know, I like to be optimistic. Let's make a few more StarCraft 2 fans. Bring them across. Have them check out Aussie StarCraft. Actually, have GungFu going for a bit of Stargate play here. Oracle now on the way, and the remainder of his gateway. So it's 3 gates and a Stargate. We'll see how this measures up to Scarlett and see if this sort of shenanigans will work. So Scarlett here gonna force the cancel on that proxy pylon and try and delay the aggression just a little bit. There are a few zealots hovering down here. A proxy pylon established on the high ground there, making it just a little bit harder to spot as Scarlett continues to push this creep outward fairly relentlessly. It is 2 base to 2 base. Scarlett unable to take her third just yet, but we have a Spore and a Spine on the way. Now I like this choice from Scarlett. The Spore is a potentially worthless investment, and I mean potentially in that if no air units or Dark Templar come along, it is a waste of minerals. But I like the fact that Scarlett is putting something in play for every contingency that she's seen thus far. She's seen a lot of proxy gateways, she's seen Dark Templar used, she knows that they're some of GungFu's go-to moves, particularly when he comes up against a player of Scarlett's caliber, and she knows that if she can just hold him at bay, her own macro and micro will be able to do the rest for her. Scarlett actually moving out with a lot of Zerglings now, but this counterattack's going to fall on deaf ears. There's a lot of sentries in play ready to prevent this. Oracle's actually activating their pulsar beam, potentially able to kill a lot of... oh no, actually, sorry, it's actually activated its Envision. So GungFu going to be cleaning up some of this creep. That's a nice choice there. Not all players would elect to go for that, but GungFu using the oracles to ensure that Scarlett stays in her base. Obviously hoping that 2 base to 2 base he can carry the day. Scarlett trying to rely on a few Zerglings to try and get her third base up. Third base unfortunately is going to suffer a little bit here, but 2 queens in play is going to mean that GungFu's mothership core is in dire straits here. Cancel on that hatchery will prevent GungFu from getting the kill, and Scarlett will clean up those zealots quite quickly. So GungFu now forced to fall back, and Scarlett should be able to establish that third base. You can see Scarlett trying to ensure that her creep's back in place and mining gas quite heavily. We're up to almost 1,000 gas. Oh, so looks like they're just sorting out a lag issue there as Scarlett gets up a macro hatch, doesn't want to fall behind her lava count, and I'd expect actually to see a spire given the amount of gas Scarlett's hovering. 1,000 gas. Be surprised not to see Mulus, but we can actually see an infestation pit on the way. So whether this is for hive tech or whether it's for some infestor play, we will see momentarily. Scarlett grabbing her upgrades, 2-2 now on the way, and pathogen gland. So you betcha baby, it's actually 4 infestors. We're going to be seeing some Ling infestor play. So Scarlett breaking out some other moves from her repertoire. You can see Scarlett's creep spread's impeccable. In the midst of doing things like harassing with these Zerglings to keep GungFu on the back foot, actually had the foresight to bring an Overlord over, generate some creep and drop some creep tumors here to get things going, get the static defense in play nice and quickly. And it's those sort of little tricks that just give the player such an edge. If you look at the fact that it's an 11-minute game, the creep's been entirely cleaned up and pushed back to her base once, and Scarlett already has it within a tumor or 2 of the center of the map. That's a testament to her creep spreading ability. This Spore Crawler going to be able to ward away those oracles, and Scarlett should be able to stabilise fairly well here on 3 bases. So GungFu, having got up a third base of his own, is in a fairly good position as well. Scarlett hovering 1,400 gas now. Like I said, we are expecting... oh no, pathogen glands actually cancelled there on the infestation pit, and potentially mind gaming GungFu, or just deciding that she has plenty of gas in play and that the Mutalisks will stop this pesky Oracle play. Actually in a position to produce 20 odd Mutalisks at a time if she should so like, and there are 10 on the way. So Scarlett going to be in a great spot here to harass with the Mutalisk. There aren't actually a whole lot of static D in either of her bases. No photon cannons except for at this third base, and Scarlett's going to be in a great position with these Zerglings to just pin this army in place. So we'll see how Scarlett chooses to play. She has got 2-2 almost completed now. Plus 2 weapons almost finished up for our Protoss player, 1 minute away, and Blink also on the way. Got some Phoenix now coming up, but 1 Stargate, with one Phoenix at a time, is going to need the second Stargate, which is on the way now. But Scarlett just mass producing these Mulus. They're literally flying out of the base. She has got how many on the field now? 20 Mulus on the field and one more in production. So interesting that GungFu is actually establishing some static D between these bases. Often we see Zerg players do this, but not often that we actually see Protoss do it. So I quite like this choice from GungFu. He's producing Phoenix count starting to grow here. Scarlett managing to snipe that first cannon, so in a great position to do a bit of damage. Nice blink forward from GungFu. Being careful not to stray too far from the edge here, but a nice counter attack from Scarlett isn't going to make its way through. So Scarlett trying to clean up this D and make life a little bit easier, but unfortunately that cannon will survive. 6 kills on one kill on the other. Is going to leave Scarlett the opportunity she needs to continue to duck back and forward between these bases. Some nice blinks from these Stalkers doing a bit of damage, but Scarlett's Mulus Cloud holding strong at 18 Mulusks. Plenty of Zerglings also on the field. We do have a Dark Shrine coming in. I have a feeling this is more for the Archons and the potential Dark Templar harass. One of the things you'll notice as you play Protoss is if you're going to go for the Stargate play early on, you don't want to follow up with Dark Templar harass. They'll already have Spore Crawlers in their base, so Dark Templar get picked off very quickly. So I'd imagine this Dark Shrine's actually for the Archons. Wants to be able to warp in Archons, which are one of the best way to defend against this sort of Mulus play. Phoenix or Archons or a combination thereof. So trying to micro as best he can, and not doing too badly against these Mulus. Quite a lot of these mutas are on red health, but got to be careful that he doesn't duck too close to Scarlett, or he will get suckered into the trap. Got to remember, Scarlett's used to playing the likes of MC and some of the other great Protoss players in the world. Not that GungFuBanda isn't a great Protoss player, but you got to remember it's not her first trip around the block. Corruptor's already on the way to tank some of this Phoenix damage, and Scarlett just looking to make these Mulus as cost effective as possible. And you see her sniping these Stalkers for virtually no losses. If she can take out these Stargates, it will put the pressure on GungFu. Won't be able to rely on these Phoenix as much as he has in the past. Scarlett will have to pull back here as the Stalkers make their way up onto the field. Though using the Corruptors to tank a bit of that damage, Scarlett's just choosing to eat the Stalkers' counter attack and just continue to bite off as much chewy Stalker as she can. GungFu still on 3 bases, but Scarlett, this is where a macro goes just a little bit silly. Up to 5 bases, or 6 bases, sorry, mining gas at all 6 of those. Her main still mining, while her other new 3 bases are all mining gas. So you see Scarlett's flicked the Zerg Berserker switch and just gone all out. Going to be able to engage and bite this off. She can trade quite poorly if she so desires, and still be in a commanding position in this game. Phoenix going to get eaten by the Mutalisk there, and Scarlett able to dissect GungFuBanda's defense just a little bit as this game wears on. Have a double Spire in play, 2/2 upgrades on the way now, and Scarlett very content to rely on her Mutalisk micro here to continue to increase her advantage. If we look at the units lost tab, it is Scarlett in a commanding lead there, 2,000 resource differential. Certainly not the position you want to be in when you're outnumbered 6 bases to 3. A few Zealots, or actually a Dark Templar is going to be able to successfully harass this base. Will we see an Overseer in play? I think I actually got Dark Templar at 2 base, so nice play from GungFu, actually catching Scarlett in her greed just a little bit, but Scarlett has plenty of bases. She's just going to grab and secure her top base, and she can come back for this one when the time is right. That time though may not come with the amount of Mulus on the play. 26 Mulus, 21 Corruptors. Scarlett's going to remove the source of irritation, plug off that Dark Shrine once and for all, and just be in a position for these Corruptors to just blast her way through. She can start using Corrupt if she so desires, and there it is, Corrupt being laid down as a volley. Make sure, look at that mass corruption as these Phoenix try and get slightly better angle. The Mulus are going to clean up the force on the ground, and GungFuBanda forced to GG out of game number 4. So series tied up at 2 games apiece. GungFu able to proxy successfully in 2 of those games, but Scarlett proving that when the game goes into the longer stages, she is able to do silly things like this, triple expand and just go into crazy mode. So fantastic series thus far from both these players. Certainly a very interesting play out of GungFu and interesting responses to Scarlett. You can see her not used to facing proxies as much as she is in this series, but certainly adapting to that. Not going to fall for it a third time, which is the all crucial game. So match point going into game number 5. Which of these players will take the lead? Find out here on Aussie StarCraft. Tune in for the next game, guys. We'll see you there.